and welcome to the Work Hates podcast. I'm Bron Lewis. This is Bretty Blake. Everyone has a nightmare work story, whether it's an insufferable boss, a horrible workplace, or a shitty workmate. And if you've had none of those things, chances are you're the problem.
You are the problem.
Yeah.
Today we are joined by comedian, writer, and former fish and chip employee, Hunter Smith.
Hello.
That's a good third one. Well done, Bretty.
Mate, I know. I've been doing research. I'm very excited. I asked the guest for once. It's very exciting. I'm very happy.
Hunter Smith, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I'm glad I survived it too. I asked a few people about this podcast and they said, you got to watch out for
me?
Freddie's intro. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Cut the legs out from under you right from the top. Assert his dominance.
That's what I do. I staunch people. Just deep down, I'm a fucking coward.
Sometimes I'll come in before the podcast starts and I'll look at Brett and I'll assess like what state is he in. And
You're making me sound like a degenerate or something. Like what state am I in?
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay. And I said what I said. And I was like, okay, he looks tired, or he looks a bit hungover, or he looks fed up, or he looks like sometimes all those three things happen at the same time. And that's fine.
Asshole to
Should
work.
read in the
You're
signs.
great. You're great. But I'm like, if and you're running around like a headless chook, putting all the tech stuff together, and I sit there do nothing, and then Brett, I'll be like, oh gosh, he hasn't. I have to ask him if he's got the intro ready, and then he'll sit down. I'll do the intro, look over at him, and he looks fucking petrified. And he's
Stunned.
going, comedian, right? Just bright red. Oh,
Yeah.
anyway, so you got through it. Well done.
I got through it because I'm like, I don't know about you, but when you're doing, like, I can only do one task at a time. Are you a multitask person?
Yeah, I reckon I can multitask, but it's to my own detriment.
Right.
You know what I mean? I
many
think
things.
I can do three things badly at once. Yeah.
Well, I can actually do that as well then.
Yeah,
I'm doing more.
I do that thing where I think I'm nailing it all, and then you hit capacity, and all of a sudden you can't move forward. You know what I mean? Like I'll be in the heat of the moment. Not good in a crisis is what I'm saying. I'll be in the heat of the moment and I can't find my pen. Where's my pen? I had my pen.
Oh, so
and then
it'd be like
the crisis
one
pass. I'm
small
like, oh, here's the
extra
pen.
thing ticks you past.
Yeah.
Like someone asks you one question, you're like, I've got to shut down.
Exactly.
I cannot do this.
Hey, I got to warn you that I came to the dentist on the way here and got a surprise filling. So
Congratulations.
I'm numbed up. So if it does sound like I'm having a stroke in the middle of the
No,
Oh, don't worry. I wasn't going to call anyone anyway. I'm like, yes, this is great content. I'll clip it up you dying. Yeah.
I slowly get funnier.
I thought that I was hoping that half your face would be numb because that's hilarious.
You know what? It's been a long time since I've had a filling, brag, and I feel like the technology's come a long way because it doesn't feel like I've been kicked in the head by a horse.
I recently got a filling not too long ago, and they put the paste in and they used like a laser gun to zap it, like this blue.
Yeah, she did
and they're
that
like,
too.
that's how they do a filling now. I was like, all right.
All right, cool.
Did you get it done at the vet?
Yeah, I think, it was another bloke behind an alley, behind a bin. It was Terry White. It's called back to an episode 3 ago, yes.
So Hunter, I would have thought that you were good in a crisis because you were head comedy writer at the project for a long time.
Yeah, that's just a rolling crisis, I suppose, isn't it?
That's a perpetual crisis.
Well, when you left, the ship sank. So let's just say you must have been very good at
You
your
know,
job.
everyone's been saying to me, I got out about 6 months before I got axed. Everyone keeps saying, oh, you timed that well.
Yeah.
But could you imagine the payout I would have got?
You would have got a huge
I've been there for a million
payout.
years.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
How long had you been there for?
I was there for 12 years.
Oh, because
you
would
would've
have had to got a
enormous.
redundancy, and they would have. Man, I've never had a redundancy.
No,
I've never stuck
that was
around.
my
so
one
long.
chance.
Dude, they would have paid you out like 2 years worth of salary.
I reckon.
You could have rocked up
Maybe
in a
not
Lambo.
that- maybe not
you
that
could have a
good.
gold tooth today.
Yeah, so everyone's saying, God, you timed it well. And I've stopped. I know I'm saying it now, but I've stopped saying it. I'm just smiling now and saying, yeah, nailed it.
Timed it
Yeah,
perfectly.
meanwhile,
I'm
I'm
really
totally
happy.
unemployed.
Well, maybe you could go to the new head writer and say that's mine, or maybe cut
I'll
a deal
take some
with
of
them.
that. Yeah, I'll have some of that. Yeah,
Give me
that's a
some
good idea.
commish, brother.
It's like when people win the lotto ticket, like when they win the lotto, and they like whoever was there with them, they're like, "Well, I encouraged you to buy it, or it was my luck, or I gave you 20 cents to add to it, and without me, you wouldn't have had it. So I am going to
I'll
need
take a cut.
some of that, at least $1 million. So you could do that.
That's a good plan. You know how well that'd go down.
Yeah, burn your bridges and not have that person as your friend again. Yeah.
But was that a stressful job?
That was a stressful job. You know, I was the comedy writer, but for a long time too, I worked in the entertainment department doing all the celebrity interviews.
Okay.
Oh, right.
And that was more stressful.
Why?
That was more stressful because you're dealing with like big dick swinging celebrities, you know?
Yeah.
Egos, and I'd assume the PR firms around
Oh,
them.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
if you want that, we need this.
Yeah. There's nothing. The thing that was, it's very, it's that never meet your heroes in a big way, but also, realizing that anything that's fun on television that involves a celebrity is not fun to make.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like
Did you
the
have?
fantasies.
Are you happy to tell us who was a terrible person to interview?
Well, you know what? You got me at a good time because
I don't have a job, so I can't lose what I don't have. Anyway,
Exactly.
Steve Buscemi's a fuckhead. Gwen Stefani.
No, but you're right. I've never spilled a secret, but now the project's being axed. I was
Great.
thinking I had to write some gear for a new gig the other night, and I thought maybe it's time for me to pivot to like showbiz comedian, like a bit of a Kathy Griffin style.
Yeah,
you know?
well, people want to know. That's just like I was speaking to Ed Cavalier. Sorry to interrupt you, but Ed Cavalier was does a lot of corporates, and he said it's really hard when people want me to do like a little bit of stand up because he's not a stand up comedian. He does other comedy, but not stand up. And he said, I don't know, what do they want to hear about? And I was like, well, for you, they'd want to hear about stuff in the showbiz, like stuff that we can't.
Inside the
everyone's
goss.
like, what? Like, what's Sam Pang like? Like if you had a couple jokes about something like that. That's, something that no one else can offer. So that is what people want to hear. So now you're going to have something that no one else has, and you have so much insider goss. So sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
So on the way here, I thought about who gave me the worst day at work, and there's a couple, but I think the ones that hit the hardest are the ones that people really love.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
See, fuck. Now I don't know if I want to know. Does that make sense?
Oh, well, strap in because this is like one of the all-time most likable women on earth, but not to me. Okay. So honestly, top 2 rudest women to me ever, rudest people ever. It's Jane Goodall, the chimpanzee lady. You know her?
Oh,
She's like as old as time, and she went and lived with the chimps.
I thought she'd be so lovely.
She's an icon. She's an icon, but no, she was a nasty.
Was she?
Really?
She was a nasty old chimp.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she was so over it. So I will say, full credit to her, I think she's 90 years old.
Yeah.
So this is probably 5 years ago. So she's old as time. She's flown across the world to come on the
this
fucking
interview.
project.
Wow.
She's done that a million times before. She doesn't want to speak to me, but I was just trying to be nice, oh, hi Jane, my name's Hunter. So what's going to happen is we're going to wheedle you out on set and they're going to ask you this. I'm like midway through the conversation, she goes to me. I'm like, so we're going to get you on set. She said, do be quiet. Do be quiet. Sorry. She said, I just need you to be quiet. And I said, oh, okay. And then I said, and then I tried to say something again. She said, quiet.
She's got villain
I know. And then she asked me to turn the lights off and she just led back on the couch.
to die.
Yeah.
You know what? This has made me like her more. She's just so crazy. Enough.
Was she there to promote something?
She works hard.
Yeah.
She works hard. So she's always promoting something, conservation related, but often it might be like with a business. Like I think she came on once and sold underpants for bonds because they were donating the money to chimps or something. But you mentioned like her dying there. I often think she will die one day, not long from now.
Yeah.
And the whole world will say what a great woman she is. And I reckon
Not
I'll be
you.
the only person that was like, good riddance. Jane.
Yeah, exactly. Do be quiet
Last
forever.
time she ever sees the lights go out.
Yeah. Now who's quiet? Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame, but also that's really satisfying.
Yeah.
Do be quiet. Because imagine it would
do
be
be quiet.
if she would be sick of it. But there's so many better ways to say. Can you just give me a second?
It's that old person don't give a fucks vibe though, right?
Yeah.
Where you're
Yeah,
just sick, she's sick of everyone's shit, not just mine.
I like, there's a band called Amity Affliction, and I really like them, and I've got a couple of their CDs.
I bet you I'd hate them.
You'd hate them. It's like,
Yeah.
it's sort of screaming. I love that shit. Anyway, I got to do light one of their music clips, and I was so excited. I was like, I'm not going to tell them I'm a fanboy, but I'm just going to enjoy the day. And I was like, I'm going to chat to them. It's going to be awesome. They didn't make eye contact with me once. Like, was so fucking rude to everyone on the crew, including the own people. But I get it. They're on tour. They're exhausted. But I was like, man, you know that guy you're kind of not even speaking to properly? He was one of the grips on Mad Max. So you show him a bit of fucking respect. You don't have to show me respect. You got to show some other guy.
Yeah.
There's some really, and like they were rude to everyone. I was like, they were complaining about the beers they had in their green room, even though they were doing fuck all really anyway. And I had to move a light out of the way because I was like, dude, if this drops, it's like 200 kilos hitting you on the head. You're going to die. And I asked one of the guys to move, and he's like, like everything.
really?
Yeah, at the end of it, I was like, fuck these cunts. So I just stole heaps of their beers, put them in my bag and fucked off at the end of the day.
They didn't want
I feel
them.
like-
They let you know that.
Yeah, well, I know.
You
but
showed them.
It was the only win I got of the day, Bron. Please let me have this. I was like,
I found it was always a bit of a bell curve because people on the lower end of the celebrity scale, the lower end are just happy to be there.
Yeah.
So most likely to be delightful.
Yes.
At the top end, people that you'd expect to be like awful, like Kim Kardashian,
Sure.
right? They have the privilege of being nothing but delightful because they have a team of 25 people who have made sure beforehand and during that nothing happens that they're unhappy with. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you expect those people, like the Tom Cruises, to be divas, but they're just a delight because the bitch work's already done.
Yeah.
But it's the people in the middle, which arguably is the Jane Goodalls, that they're the they were the toughest because often they have to say it for themselves, but also they know what they want. You know what I mean?
Okay,
They're not
they don't
happy
have
to
a
be
team
there.
of people. There's not someone going in like, get rid of this, dim the fucking
Exactly.
lights, you don't fucking talk to them, blah, blah, blah. And then they just walk in. But when you got to do
Have
it
to say
yourself,
it
it's like,
themselves.
can I get a glass of fucking
Yeah.
water?
And then, no, Jane, you can't.
Not anymore. You're a rude bitch.
Yeah.
I did
Get
this.
one of your chimpanzees to get it, like that bloke from Dunstan checks in or something.
And she would always go on the show and then be delightful too, which it really annoyed me. I'm like, at least be nasty to everyone.
Stay consistent.
She'd go on there and be doing a
involved.
chimp call with Tommy Little and everyone's like, oh, she's done it again.
Tell Tommy to shut up. I did this gig in Brisbane. This is years ago, and I was doing the support act for Jay Farrows. This guy, he was on Saturday. Was it Saturday Night Live? Yeah. Anyway, he had asked. I didn't even know what a writer was. So writer is obviously, we know now, is like whatever they want in the green room.
Oh, the
whatever
writer. I thought you meant a
drinks.
writer. I'm like, you didn't even know what a writer
didn't
was.
know-
She was
I
You
didn't
only joke
She
before
was
I get up there. Straight up.
No, all of his writers. So it was like he wanted like Tanqueray gin, and he wanted, I think it was like diet tonic. He'd just lost like 40 kilos or something. So it was really, so his diet was weird. His requests were a bit abnormal, like almonds, wasabi peas, unbuttered popcorn.
Is
and
this
stuff
for
like
a
that.
gig that you're on as well?
Yeah, I was a support act for him.
right.
He had like people managing him. And they they came in. There was like he had like a group. What are they called? Like he had like a posse. Entourage. They all came in, and we're in Brisbane. No one knows anything. You know, I was a part of that. Okay, so all these people walked in, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, there's heaps of them." So there wasn't enough. We've only got a small bottle of Tanqueray here. The Tanqueray was like not even a regular size one.
like a hotel minibar size.
Yeah. And he kind of walked in and saw the most embarrassing table full of, they had just stuffed all the sizes. So there was a bowl of limes. There would have been 40 limes in there. But like a flask of Tanqueray gin and maybe 5 or 6 bottles
4
of
wasabi
tonic.
peas. Can you go halves each?
I know, but and then he wanted popcorn, but it was a bag of popcorn, but like the lunchbox Coles brand popcorn. So if you wanted some popcorn, you had to open the big bag, fish out a small bag, and open that and sit like you're at recess. I know. And
What time's mum picking me up?
when he walked in, he kind of looked around, and the entourage kind of looked around, and the lady who was like obviously the tour manager, she was like, right. And then she left the room, and then before you knew it, tables were being pulled in. All of this hot food was coming into the kitchen.
Oh, really?
But
She got onto it?
Yeah, but all Jay had to do was just look at it, and she knew. She was like, yeah.
This won't do.
He will be upset about this,
Yeah.
and I'll have to hear about this for ages. And it completely changed everything. So this is how good it would be to be at
Yes.
the top, where you don't even have to vocalize.
Especially if you're dealing with Americans. If people come with their American help, like their American
Oh,
publicists.
they're so used to the high
But
service.
that's when you knew you're going to have a bad day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because sometimes Australians will come with Americans too. You know what I mean? Like Rebel Wilson might come in with her American people, and you know that's going to be a worse day than if you're dealing with the Australian people.
Yeah.
Because we were like, he doesn't really care about blue cheese. Like, he needs 3 kilos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just more dick swinging. Absolutely.
Yeah, actually, I walked into Chelsea Handler's green room when I was, and she had this enormous cheese platter, but she didn't have any of it. So it might have just been like a...
Were you invited or what do you mean?
Dude, I would have man, I was about to say I would have stole that cheese when I was on the project. I stole the apricot cheese from the project. They're like, are you guys using it? They're like, nah. I was like, I had a wheel of cheese with me. I was like, fuck that.
Oh yeah, you get a reputation for that. They'll say next time. Well, there won't be a next time.
Man,
You're lucky there won't be this time. But they would say last time he took the cheese.
The next time I was back, no cheese.
Yeah.
There's no wine.
Yeah.
I was like, because I drank nearly I hanged around after my recording and I just drank like a bottle and a half of wine. They're like, you can stay as long as you want. And the makeup lady's like, can you fuck off now?
Yeah. After all those years of doing the job, I got really good at getting people to leave. Because often, like, if there might be a big night or a big audience, it's like they come off buzzing. Yeah. And people often they want to have like a celebrate vibe. I'm like, no, it's 7:42. I haven't been paid for 12 minutes. Like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I was surprised that you were still there because one time I went on and then I came back to the green room. You were still in there. I was like, haven't you been here all day? It's a big day. You must have missed it. You must have missed the long days.
I probably want to say well done to you, I suppose. I wouldn't have done that for Jane.
Nice.
Well, you weren't fucking there when I was there, but anyway.
So you mentioned the cheese. You remind me. I won't name names here, but there was. This is you could get a reputation. There's one celebrity.
It was there free for me. I'm taking it home.
That's not how
There's one celebrity who went into the green room with her kids in probably like 2010, and the kids just hoed into the wheel of brie, like just bit straight into it. And then that guest would come on every 6 months for the next 14 years, and every single time someone was like, well, I hope they're not going to bring her kids. So I have to get more cheese. We'll get another wheel of brie out.
Never forget.
Well, the kid's probably 22 now. I think we're safe.
I think she's taught
Fuck, now I'm petrified. Like, it's a fucking cheese. Apricot. I didn't even eat it. Apricot cheese. Remember that old school apricot? I was like, whack that in my pocket. Drank a bottle of fucking Chardonnay. Don't even like Chardonnay. Hell yeah.
If it's free.
You're probably not, it's probably good there for the last 17
I used to
guests.
work at the High Road Tavern in Riverton, and one time we had Thirsty Merc.
Oh yeah,
we're playing at that. You remember that one? Take me back to the. And they sent through this crazy fucking rider. We want sushi. Like the High Road Hotel is a shithole, so you're at the bottom of your career. They're like,
and you don't want sushi from the High Road Hotel.
Oh yeah, do you want this guy making you sushi? Is the question. So like we want sushi, we want bottles of Jack Daniel's spirits, we want beers, we want blah 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 blah. And my manager just wrote back, no. Just NO. And then they rocked up and they're like, have you got all that stuff? And he's like, nah. And they're like, okay. All right, he's like, cool.
What are you going to do, Thirsty Merc?
And they're like, well then just fucking sing your song, mate. There you go. If you want a beer, just go to the bar. They'll sort you out. There's a tab. But just treated them like shit. Right. They're like, yeah, no, okay, it's fine. Yeah, we're not as good as we used to be. So take me back to the...
So you mentioned that there were two awful people. One was Jane. Who was the second?
Tommy Little, the end.
No, it was a woman, obviously. They're the worst.
Bron Lewis.
Hey, probably.
You didn't steal apricot cheese, mate.
No, I didn't.
Because you're not savvy like me, mate.
No, I got invited back though.
I'm a businessman.
So the other one's a corker too, but I actually really can't name the names. So do you want me to do it without names? Or?
Yeah, do it without names.
Just say what happened.
So this is the worst of all time. So it was two really big stars.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was Australian, one was American. Okay. They had made an American movie together. So they were in Australia together doing the press tour. Okay. You know what I mean? Like Stop Wine Australia. They come on the project. They're, like I said, all American teams, already intimidating. They fill up the green room. I just sort of hover by the door, just making sure there's no issues. I start to sense a mood has descended upon the green room. The show is live, so they're watching the show. And often, in this case, someone was Australian, but they often had never seen the show before, so they're really watching.
Yeah.
I can see the Australian star talking to their publicist coming over, going back and forth. I could tell something's amiss. The publicist comes to me and she asks me to name the panelists on the show, right? Okay. And I go through the 4 names and then she goes back to the star that comes back, tension's rising. I said, have we got a problem here? Like, what's going on? Yeah. And I remember she said to me, yeah, you got a problem. And I was like, oh my God.
She
goes back over. She comes over. The publicist says to me, essentially...
you got a problem. Can we just talk normally to each other?
Yeah. Are we on...
I think there's an issue, but we'll try and solve it.
No, that was not the vibe at all, Brittany. The publicist said to me that the star didn't know that one of the hosts was going to be on the show.
Oh,
and now she knows that. Here's my 2 options. They all pack up and leave without going on the show, or I remove the host from the project. That's the only conditions in which She'll go on the show.
Way.
Because she had an issue with one of the...
Yeah, an issue. Now, that host, much earlier in the day, had said to me as flippantly at this, I did interview them back in the day. It was a bit awkward, but they won't remember. And I was like, I think they remember. I think you got that wrong.
My God.
Oh, they remember, dude. Imagine that. Like, and I don't know who it was, but you're like, I thought Nick Cody was on this episode of the project. He's just gone.
Yeah.
This is an empty seat.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
and
it
they
be- it
so
wouldn't have
leaving
been-
is not an option because
No,
with
you
big
can't.
stars, often they might have been on for a couple of segs too. Like it might be half an hour of content.
Yes.
So actually, I had a boss at the time who just completely came into her element. Like I was like, this is above my pay grade. Got my boss up there, and she just sort of cajoled them, tickled the showbiz balls a bit. We ended up lying to the star and saying that we would rearrange the desk so the person interviewing them would be at the far end. And also we lied and said that host wouldn't ask them any questions. So both just big fibs, but got them on the show. Then they were fucking average. That was the most annoying part.
Yes.
Right? So normally, this is the kicker. Normally when we have a really big star, we'd have a photographer to come in and take like photos of them all together, arms around each other at the end. I had cancelled the photographer for obvious reasons. Then the show finished. I go in. I've got both your hands on both the stars to drag them out of the studio. I've got my hand on the studio door. I'm just about clear. And the host, who has no idea, I believe to this day that this happened, the host goes, oh, before you go, can I grab a selfie?
No, they didn't.
Oh, the person that they had a problem with. Yeah, dude.
And then the Hollywood star, who had been a real prick, was like, absolutely. And went over and they posed for selfies. So that's why I can't name them because I don't think the host, who's a great person, I don't think they even know.
So it was the Australian or the American who had the problem with them?
The Australian had the problem.
Oh, okay. So the Australian just left.
Yeah. And they're very beloved too, I got to tell you. It's another hurt.
To find out.
Dude, I can't wait for this podcast to
There's
finish because I'm going to be like,
I'm
I
sorry.
want names.
There's actually nothing worse than when you listen to a podcast and people say, I'll tell you after.
I
really
know.
apologise. I really apologise.
Well, my sister will be listening. Amy, I'll tell you. Just text me, please.
I'm going to get so many DMs and I'm not going to answer them, so fuck off everyone.
That
Okay,
is
one
wild.
more tidbit.
I love that.
I had a friend who did, just by coincidence, the same job but on Graham Norton,
Okay.
and I asked her once who the worst person she'd ever dealt with on Graham Norton, and she said the same person. So I reckon 2 strikes and you're
The
out.
Australian.
Yeah.
What? But imagine the project get a level of star, which is good. But Graham Norton gets
Absolutely.
mega stars.
Yeah.
And then for them to go, this person's still the cunt.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
Graham
I've
Norton
got
has
it.
like fucking every cunt on that show,
know.
you know?
I think I know who it is. I've worked it out in my head.
Have
Not
you?
yeah, but I also
Russell Coit.
No, it's a woman.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a woman.
he said
Yeah.
that.
I
That's
shouldn't
the
have given that
only
away,
hint
but I
he's
think
given.
Oh, okay.
It's the only hint he's given us.
It's Bindi Irwin.
No.
Fucking Bindi, you let us down.
So
As if
obviously,
Bindi
I
did
would
me.
So
find,
good.
She would have been great.
She would have been great.
Was she nice?
Bindi, yeah. Once I went on this, when I worked for another show, I had this insane weekend where we went and stayed at the zoo.
That would have been
With them?
I would have loved that.
Yeah. And it was quite informative because they were children then. But I had always thought, is this too rude to say? I had always, that they were quite insufferable as kids.
Yeah.
Were they? Oh, were they kids?
They're TV kids.
They
They're
were TV
smiley
kids.
TV kids. They're a bit smiley and they're a bit too camera. It
Yeah,
feels
exactly.
staged.
Real Christian vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'd always kind of thought I'd sort of laid that on the mum a bit, how did she make it? But then when I went up there, I was like, oh no, this is just all the dad's genes. Like the mum's
Oh,
just
yeah.
also here while they're like that 24/7.
Yeah, right. She's just got 3 TV presenters running around the house. And you're like,
exactly.
can you guys wind your personality back?
Why? Where's the cameras? Who are you talking
Yeah,
to?
exactly.
You
It was
know
like
this
that.
isn't on. We're not in Big Brother. They're putting on a talent show every 2 minutes.
So what? So the zoo was good. You stayed there. Why'd you stay there?
I was just
For
there
work?
for one night there. Yeah.
At the zoo.
Yeah,
For
it's
work.
like a big
How
tourist
good?
thing. You can stay there, and
Oh,
it must cost like
Yeah.
$1,000 or
That's
2
what I
or
was working
whatever.
with Adam Hills on his show.
Oh.
He must have liked them.
So who was? And this is a far less interesting question. Who was like the nicest person that you had to deal with?
Loads of nice people. Like
Yeah.
I say, never meet your heroes, but then some of them are fucking delightful.
Yeah, great. Few.
I've always loved Kylie Minogue. Shocker. She was delightful.
Good.
Shouldn't have given that away. She could have been the bitch.
I know. Okay, we're just, that's all I'm doing is I'm like
You're just whittling it down.
working it out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're like giving examples of Australians and they're like, well, by a process of elimination.
You know who's fucking fantastic and has passed away, which is sad, but also dead man can't sue, so let's go. It was Fat Man Scoop.
Oh, yes.
Were you there that day?
I remember, yes, I was working at the project that day. Fat Man Scoop, he came on.
I don't even know. I know this like Fat Man Scoop.
Yeah,
but
that's it,
I don't know what he looks like. I've got no idea.
He's a big fat man.
Yeah, he looks
Really?
exactly
Okay.
like you'd think. Okay, and he was wearing like these gangster sunglasses, which on telly is wild because there's so many reflections, all the lights and we.
And he was hosting the whole show, so he was like in the meetings and everything, and could not have been more out of place. Could not have been more out of place.
I'm surprised he agreed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's serious bits. There were serious bits that he would have had to sit through. I was in the
And in
room.
Brisbane, there was 14 murders. It's like, is Fat Man Scoop fucking with us?
He's hyping it. Whoop.
But that was on that day when Fat Man Scoop was hosting. They did a pre-record of this interview with this woman who got Lizzo's signature tattooed on her ass.
Like a 19-year-old, like a young person.
She had Lizzo like autograph her bum, and then she went straight to the tattoo shop and someone tattooed her.
Gee, that's aged well. That was only 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Lizzo's pretty cool, isn't she?
Yeah, she's nice. And then everyone was going, oh wow, are you worried that that you're gonna regret it, or did it hurt? Just normal questions asking a 19-year-old who she was very recently a child. And then Fat Man Scoop's question to her was, how much do you weigh? I like my girls thick.
I had forgotten about that. How much
Also,
you
Fat Man
weigh?
Scoop, dude, she's 19.
With his glasses, the rest of the desk was like, oh, I don't know.
Now, I've got a question.
Tell her we edit that out.
Got a quick question. Do you prefer reverse cowgirl or froggy style? When I'm hitting that, what do you prefer? Sandra Sully's on the panel like, clearly she likes doggy style.
Oh, how did he die?
A heart attack, I think.
Okay, yeah.
He was a really
that was
nice man.
He was
Syndrome?
nice.
I actually think, in his defense, I think it was like a cultural. It was like a culture. It was lost in translation. Like I think he. I don't really know how to explain it. I just think in his life it was a total normal thing to ask, and he was trying to big her up and everything. But just asking anyone, let alone a 19-year-old girl, how much she weighs on television, it's insane.
You got a bit of a fat old thing back there or what? Show us that tattoo. I want to see that junk in the trunk, baby.
Tell the camera.
I'm assuming Fat Man Scoop's African American.
Yeah.
That adds to the comedy of it even more, just because you know he's saying it cool as shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're a detective, Brady. Well done. And then that was wild. But I'm pleased to hear that he was nice because
he was so nice, and he actually was like really normal. Like I remember him telling us that he'd been in Hollywood forever, and had made, although he'd had all those big hits, he had no money left because he'd spent it all on being cool. Like a mansion, bodyguards, and everything. So about a year before he came to us, he'd given up. He moved out of Hollywood and moved to like Austin or somewhere like way out of town, Atlanta it was, so he could like save his money and all that, and he was obsessed with like finances and then he died. So.
And so it was coming on the project was just because he was getting paid?
Yeah,
do you think?
absolutely.
Okay.
He was out here for like R&B Friday tour or something like that. Sorry.
Yeah, like
So
how can I get an extra?
And for those just listening, Hunter was just dancing like he.
And how much do you weigh, Hunter?
I like our girls thick.
Yeah. I like a big booty on a bloke.
So our project was obviously not the worst job you've ever had. You would have in the 12 years
it
where you
would have been a
liked
fun
it.
job.
Yeah.
It would have been so much
Yeah, it was
You
a
were
great
very
job.
good at it.
Yeah, and actually because when you do something forever, it is hard to. It's easy to take it for granted. But then when the show got axed, literally I was just driving along one day and I was like, oh, that was a really fun job.
I must admit, I got a bit emotional when I saw the last episode and they were getting all like on it, like earnest or whatever. And I was like, this is a very important part. I know like people love to shit on the project, which I could never understand why, because it's like shitting on Sunrise. They're not crazy opinions or whatever. It's just lighthearted
Not hurting your
news and
feelings.
entertaining. You know what I mean? It's like a bit of fun. I never understood
People
why
really
people
hated
got
it though, didn't they?
Yeah, the right like
Yeah.
It's the problem is it was a brown Arabic man with an opinion, and Australia was like, we're not fucking ready for that.
But
Give us Fat Man Scoop.
Yeah, he's got no opinions. But these are people who watched it though. The people, and so we would get in the writers' room. One person's job would be to reply to the email, the DMs on Messenger.
They make you do that.
Yeah.
It's been horrifically racist. You just be replying to images of cars.
Yeah. It's just comedians getting them too. Like, what should I say to this?
This person's threatening to kill themselves. I don't know if I'm qualified to know what
Is
to
that why
say.
you guys hired Carl Chandler?
Yeah.
Because you can just put
Honestly.
him in. You're like, don't worry, guys, I'll take this. Anyway, I've just looked at your
Honestly.
thing.
You should
I'd kill
kill
yourself. He
yourself.
would love it. Yeah. He would go hard.
Good idea. First
He's
smart thing
rocking
he
up.
ever
We didn't
said.
even pay you today. He's in there bullying people.
Honest, because some people took it really seriously, like the responding to, like, right, okay, so what shirt was she wearing, and like where could I? All right, okay, so I'll just
So
now
true,
this person
so
has they've got their kids dying, they want to have a segment on that, and like should I send that through? And this person wants me to call them. Who should I get that? And it's like, oh mate, and then Carl, so it's like, who wants to do the inbox today? And Carl goes, yeah, I'll do it. It would be over in like 4 minutes. He'd be like, I finished it.
Yeah.
I finished.
Yeah.
You responded to everyone.
I used to say to people, we've been going like just because people are well intentioned, going to great lengths, and I used to say, you know, we actually don't. We can try, but you don't owe them responses. You know what I mean? Like you don't owe them 4 hours of your day.
Yeah.
Trying to find out, what T-shirt Sam Taunton wore in late February.
Oh
and
my
people would
God.
get so
I'd be like,
angry about
delete, block.
They'd be like, how come you only put up information about what the women are wearing, never anything about what the blokes are wearing? That is sexist. And like, did you want to buy Waleed's suit?
He's been wearing it for 3 years.
It's the same one, mate. It's every night.
Do you want us to send you? No, but if I went to court, I would like the option.
So, Hunter, what's the worst job you've ever had?
I've got 2. One is that my first job you mentioned earlier was it wasn't my first job, sorry. It was in the fish and chippery industry.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a shit job because I used to stink of fish and chips
And
afterwards.
what suburb are we talking about?
That was down at the Pakenham Sea Chest. Have you ever been to Pakenham, Bron?
Brett and I did a gig there.
You were on the gig too.
Yeah,
Oh.
he was closing the show. I was hosting. Brett was closing, and yeah, it was. I talked to
I was all hyped up because Bron was on it. Rowan Thambar was there, and I was like,
Wait. Was this the one where we had a sea of autistic people?
No, Tourette's.
We had 3 different people with Tourette's in the audience.
Definitely more than 3. It's definitely more than 3, mate.
Was that the one where someone through one of my punchlines at the end just yelled out, "Gay"?
really?
And I was like, I hope that's the person with Tourette's.
It was.
Because if
You've got to
not,
be the least gay guy in the lineup, surely.
Yeah, I know. And we're getting whistled at, and then Matt Stewart's one, like, someone kept yelling, "Penis, penis, penis."
Matt Stewart is so
God love him.
Yes.
calm and so poised, and it's all. If he was any more relaxed, he'd be asleep.
Yeah.
And so he's on stage going, and then I went down the shop, and then someone would yell out, "Cock," and he'd go, "Yeah, okay, man, yeah, you could say that. That's all right." And then we came on stage and said, "How'd you find that?" I thought he'd be like, "Oh, it was awful." He goes, "Yeah, they had a lot to say." He goes, "But I don't mind. I'd rather someone yelling out than no one in the seat." I'm like, that is not how I feel.
Yeah, that's so true.
What a nice guy.
A beautiful reading of it.
Opinion.
Yeah. So as soon as I was like, Bron, how was the show? And Bron said that worst show of her life.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
honestly.
I
I did
I
that all the
actually
time.
loved it. I think it was great. Like it was.
You didn't have to. You only had to go out for 17 minutes. I had to go out in between every act and have to deal with the angriest, most vocal. Like everyone's either furious or like.
Oh, it wasn't
had
a good gig, but it was memorable. Like,
Yeah, it was
Yes,
good.
it was
do we not
certainly
have one of the
memorable.
world's best car trips on the way home? Yeah.
But did I tell you how Brett and I arrived? So we arrived, we parked the car, and then we were just walking up to. We were like, oh, it's not very well lit, but this is like GPS said, this is where it is. We start walking, we see these people standing up front of this building, and we're kind of walking. We're like, this doesn't really look like a theatre. I don't know. And then people kind of like these ladies out the front with cigarettes, kind of looking at us confused, and we were like, oh, that's weird. They don't know who we are because they're here to see us. So we kind of like, hello, and we get to the door, and this woman with a clipboard, kind of looks at us. She goes, "You here for the parent safety course?" And Brett doesn't listen to it because he doesn't listen to women. He went, "Yep," and walked in past her. And And I went, no, Brett, no, we're not here for that. We're not here. It's like a court-mandated course for these poor parents.
Can't parent or something.
And then
I'm here for that. But also they're looking at me like, yeah, this is a bad day.
It made sense. And I was like, no, we're not here for that. Oh, gosh. And I turned around. Brett, no, we're not. And he kind of turned around and was stumbling down. And I was laughing at how Brett went in without even listening to it. So I was laughing at that. But then all the women out the front with their ciggies thought that I was laughing at them. I was like, oh, no,
It
I'm
was
not laughing.
so bad, dude. And I was like, and you were laughing at me, but they were like, and
they're ready to kick off.
And I go, what is it? And Bron's like, while laughing, it's for bad parents. And I was like, yeah, you're like, it's for bad parents. And I was like, oh.
Okay, so I'm getting a bit more context about why the crowd might not have been red hot for you, Bron.
We're walking out like, fuck a dick, gay. And
Just pretend we got Tourette's. Say what you want.
Yeah. It's just the lady smoking at the back, like, these fucking bitch.
Well, she skipped a mandated course. That's rude.
But
so
you know when someone like says something to you and I'm like, I registered it, but I didn't. I was like, she's confused.
Yeah.
She's a woman. She doesn't know what
She's
she's
hysterical.
Oh, my God.
Give her a lobotomy.
So you worked at the fish and chip shop. Was this your first ever job?
No, it was my second job.
What was your first one then?
Well, this is my got fired story.
Okay, all right. So,
okay.
So
Save
save it or do it?
do whatever you like.
What are you doing?
Well, I'll talk. It's chronologically.
Okay.
So my first ever job was at Hungry Jack's Fountain Gate.
Incredible sentence.
Now this makes me happy because very rarely is someone's favourite takeaway Hungry Jack's. But this guy, I love him.
Really? You're all
Ooh,
in?
I'm all in Hungry Jack's, number one.
Fountain Gate?
What?
Been to that one yet? Fountain Gate?
Fountain Gate? No, but
Oh,
I
you
wouldn't
gotta
mind
go.
dabbling.
Well,
So
next
good.
time you go to Pakenham, stop on the way. So
On the way to our domestic
it was like a friend.
abuse class or whatever.
It was a friend of my parents got me the job somehow, and it was a cool place to work. Like some of the cool kids from school work there and everything.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I only made it about 4 shifts, and then I got caught trying to eat some chips.
You're going to eat chips if they're in front of you.
Surely
We were
that's
all
your-
eating chips, but I had never stolen them before. And so what happened was the manager left, and I had been there long enough to know that's when we got to steal the food.
Yeah.
So I prepared myself a little medium fries, and then I hid it around the corner, and then she came back because she had forgotten her keys or something, and she walked through and she spotted them. Now I might add, nary a chip had passed my lip. To this day, I couldn't eat Hungry Jack's after this for at least 2 or 3 days.
I was like, nothing would stop me. Even if you told me you pissed into those chips, I'm like, well, whatever.
So then she called us all around, and she said she was calling the police. She's got the CCTV. She's going to find
calling
out.
the police. What? No crime hasn't been committed. It hasn't left the fucking area
That's what
yet.
I'm just now I know. I just moved the fries, But it was really traumatizing because I was 14 and I was terrified.
You jump into the hot oil.
Yeah, so I had to
Can't
step
do the
forward.
shame.
It was I. I am the fat piggy thief.
Oh, you would have been bright red with a little hat on.
Yeah, and then they
awful.
made me resign. They forced me to resign. And then they came. My dad had to come and get me.
Quill or
What do you
something?
mean?
Sounds
Yeah.
so dramatic. You must resign. It's a fucking chips,
I feel like
dude.
you have to write it. So I just wrote, I quit. And then I was in a hostage situation. And then my dad cut to get me. And my dad was morally opposed to me taking the job because he's a bit of a real hippie, real lefty hippie. And so he didn't want me working with him anyway. So then he, very calm, mostly stoned man, was enraged that they'd fired me. So then he went come and got me and told them to go fuck themselves, I think. So that part was exciting.
That's
fun.
pretty
Yeah.
exciting.
But I was
And then
actually
he's like,
genuinely
can I
very
also
ashamed.
steal some chips? I'm pretty high. I will pay for them. I am ripped off my guts, dude. Dad's like, I don't want you to work there, but fuck, man. Can I get a double bacon deluxe every day?
So that would have been really humiliating, especially
It was.
and no one stood up for you. No one was like,
No.
it's not a big deal.
But also,
No, and there was
She
the cool
sounds
kid. The cool kids
awful.
at school. That was the worst part because when I went back to school, I don't know. Your job was almost a separate world from work, from school. Sorry, yeah. So that was
awful.
yeah, that
but
was
calling it's like, surely that's a warning. It's like, they're kids.
yeah. They must have
gotta
just thought we were fucking disposable,
Yeah.
There's 20 more where they come from.
And also, she probably was like 22. Was she not? Yeah, and just like
Power
absolutely
trip.
off her face on power.
Yeah,
Like,
because
this
I
is
haven't
awesome.
How much did she weigh?
thought about it. I haven't thought about it for 20 years, but I thought about it on the way here, and I thought exactly that.
Yeah.
I'm like, in my mind, she was 30, but she was
Yeah.
probably
She
22.
would've
22 power trip.
Yeah,
like
ready to
I
go.
am the manager of
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It would have been a pretty good job.
Actually, at the time, I've been like,
Just bossing around the cool kids as well.
Yeah.
Tracy, your chapstick is dribbling down your chin. Oh, is it? Yeah, fuck you. You know, just
What world do you come in with a cool girls called Tracy?
Yeah.
Where was that?
Belconnen.
We didn't have
yeah,
Spence.
yeah, you haven't been to
Okay.
fucking.
No, we didn't
bumfuck
have
where
Hungry
Bron's
Jacks in
from.
1975.
yeah. Well, that's just maybe I'm a bit older.
Bron's
than
from
you
a
guys,
town where
okay?
they got more mobility scooters than people.
Hey, that's fine. So then you moved into the
But
worst.
then
so
I bounced
just-
back. I
Okay.
got because I
Chippery.
had my experience on the fryer.
Oh,
you know,
like
fine.
4
yeah.
days experience.
Did
Yeah.
you put that on your CV? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure I did. Yeah,
Oh.
at the time. Yeah, down to Fred and Amira, the Lebanese couple in town. They ran the fish and chip shop, and they ran it like the fucking Navy.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, it was very gender based. Like
Okay.
he would do everything on the grill,
Yeah.
and she would sort of whip the teens, get us
Okay.
going with the teens. Yeah. So
I will say fish and chips is it's an easy thing to cook, I believe, but it's so when it goes wrong, it's so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Bad fish and chips, worst thing in the world.
bad
Great
place
fish and
to
chips,
be.
you're like, ooh, good.
Yeah.
Too much
What are
oil
the
in the
good fish and
batter.
Lots of burning, lots of oil burning. Lots
it
of
good fish and
like,
chips though?
yeah, I reckon it was pretty good. If I do
then-
say so myself. I remember the souvlaki was very popular. Yeah, we had just dabbled in the fried Mars bar space, so we were innovative as well as
Jeez. Tracy, my friend, would have loved that.
Yeah. Deep fry me lip
Yeah, I
balm.
hated that. And then my worst TV job was when I was a runner, which is like the shit kicker on set. I once made this. We did in London, and I got a job as the runner. And they were making a documentary about bouncers that worked at nightclubs in Essex.
Ooh, so that's going to be rough.
Yeah. So I would have to hang around in the nightclub sober, obviously, like running around trying to get release forms off all the drunk wankers that they were exploiting. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So it's like
yeah,
2 a.m. in Essex. Get a release form. Do you get a release form? And I'm running around trying to keep track of the tapes and the release forms. Yeah.
And
Did
they're
you
like,
sign your
what
life
the
away?
fuck do you want? You
Yeah. I hated that.
Did they ever get like aggressive with you? They would have. Imagine if that
The,
was
the
like,
whole vibe was
Awful.
yeah. Because that
Runners-
was Essex had a real moment in the UK. You know they had the Only
Yes.
Ways Essex and
Yeah,
well,
they
the-
did.
yeah.
And
so-
runner on film sets, they basically it's just a whatever job.
Yes.
you got to get you're helping production. Sometimes like I'll have to call the runner to fucking go get me some random bolts from Bunnings, and it seems like such a stressful job because you kind of got to know everything, and you're like, but they'd rock up and I'm like. Fucking 12 mil, I asked for 10. And they're like, okay. And then like, it's just taking them an hour and then off they go again. But I reckon it could be like also, now it's pretty more chiller on the film set, but I reckon it's kind of like a fun job because you're picking up people. You get to see how the whole industry
no, I
works.
did great shit too. Yeah. We made this show. This is the best job I had. We made this show about a girl band that were really famous in the UK called Girls Aloud.
Oh, I remember that.
And so that was just like, gay kid dream.
Yeah.
So I like being
I
there.
don't
I love being
remember
there,
that,
bitch.
surprisingly. So what was this? So it was and you got to be like they were doing a documentary on them.
The premise of the show was, so they were in this really famous girl band called Girls Aloud, but the premise of the show was, what would those girls have done if they weren't pop stars? And then we did that for them. So like one of them learned how to play polo in Chile. And
Fuck, someone knows how to work the industry well. I would actually be a cruise ship captain in the Antarctic.
So true.
I want a holiday in the Antarctic.
one girl, we got her a spot in Castor and Les Mis. So she, but that was exciting because that was real showbiz because they were,
sounds
it
like
was
you had a
real,
lot of money.
real paparazzi era, So everywhere we go, they would stalk us. And then this is the cool thing, a girl in the office got marched out one day because she had been caught leaking our locations
and
to the
stealing
paps.
chips.
Yeah.
Oh.
And stealing chips.
So allocation is in where they would go.
Like if we were going to do a shoot at the
clever.
theatre, she was carving some cash off the top by telling the paps where we'd be. So then they must have been chucking her £200 so then they could get the photos of the...
Yeah, but then they love it because they're getting free publicity.
Exactly.
It's
It's a human centipede
No
situation.
one's losing.
It sounds like they had a huge budget to be like, in Brazil, you're saying, no worries.
Yeah.
How many horses?
I want to
do you
be in Les Mis. The full season run.
What happened to those women?
They're in
One of
Les
them-
Mis.
They started a new band
the
called
polo-
Anthrax United. Your friends. Whatever you like.
Amity Affliction.
What a fuck
Some of them
ever.
are still really famous. One of them died too. The polo player died. Yeah.
Oh, how come?
Not on the
How?
horse.
Kicked by a horse.
Cancer, I think.
Cancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
sorry.
funny.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Yeah.
Say something funny, cancer.
Was it anything good or entertaining? No,
No, it's
no.
actually really sad.
Long and traumatic.
That was really sad. Okay, we'll just
really
edit that
dragged out. Awful stuff.
What is, and this is a question that has nothing to do with anything, but I notice that people write best boy on when they're like.
I'm a best boy.
So you're a best boy.
Yeah,
What
I
is
can
that?
be a
film
best
set.
boy.
In film set. What is
So
the
a best boy? So there's two
the
departments. So
best
grippings, grip looks after camera movement.
Yeah.
So like tripods, dollies, cranes,
Yeah.
anything where the camera's moving, they assist that person. So you've got a thing called a key grip. And then you've got a gaffer. So a gaffer will communicate with the director of photography, how they want to light things, and then the gaffer knows what tools to use it, blah, blah, blah. So the best boy is in both those departments is one below that. So then if I'm on a big film set and I'm the best boy, the gaffer will come and communicate to me and go, hey, Brett, we need a 18K over here. We need a mole beam going through here. He'll communicate the lay of the land to me. Mm-hmm. Then it's my job as the best boy, because I'll have 4 or 5 people behind me, to go, right, you two, I want you over there working on the crane. I want that over there. We need the 2 riggers to come in, drop the tri-truss. So I'm essentially the logistical coordinator and making sure everything is on. I'm essentially making the gaffer's day easier.
It's quite a serious. It's quite a senior job. It sounds like a little boy job.
Yeah, but we've still got pecking orders. So we'll have best boy, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Average boy.
Everyone has to
below average, below par boy.
Yeah, and you have we don't do 1 to fucking 8. We do senior lighting technicians and not. And it's just delegation, because it is a big, like you've got to be like, all right, well, the next thing that's coming up in 2 days from now, like then you have an offset best boy who's then organising, all right, we need a crane for tomorrow, let's get that. All right, I need to get this. So it's quite a logistic job. So on-set best boy will be navigating the crew, and offset best boy would be navigating what's coming up if we need extra people.
It was similar down at the fish and chip shop, actually.
Who's
doing the fryer? Who's doing the wrapping?
Yeah.
We got it. Yeah, it's a deep fried Mars bar coming in. Someone's going to unwrap that.
Tracy's back.
Basically, you're just doing a lot of pointing and not much work.
It just feels like a really patronising name.
Oh, it's kind of kinky, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it comes from, I think it's
Better than good
an
boy,
old
I suppose.
sailing term, like best boy. You know what I mean? Like
didn't know that.
everything's very nautical because we use sails and stuff like that. So I'm assuming it's like your best mate, best boy. You know what I mean? First in charge.
Best mate. I didn't know
What is it?
that.
What's on the captain? What do they call them? First mate.
First mate.
Yeah.
It's not about best anything. It's nothing to do with sailing.
They just call it. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with sailing. But anyway, best boy is the
It was the
second in charge.
longest answer, and in the end, you're like, I don't know.
No. I don't know where it came from. I know what the job is.
Okay,
I
mate.
hate doing that job, by the way. It's fucking. I just like being
It's the worst boy.
Yeah,
I like
worst
being
boy.
I like
for
to
the
be a
job.
naughty boy. I like to be a naughty boy in the corner.
Ew.
I'm sorry
Now-
the answer wasn't funny, but I feel it was insightful.
Yeah, we'll edit that out again.
Well, I do the editing and it's staying in.
Never regretted asking a question more in my life.
I'm sorry, I've just killed the podcast. I was just trying to. For once, I fucking knew
I
something.
thought it was very informative.
Thank you.
Very informative. Not funny, but informative.
I didn't listen.
You
Anyway,
know what? Never have a hunter on again. Biggest diva I know.
where's Jane?
The Jane
Let's get
Goodall. The Jane Goodall of workmates.
God, yeah. At least Jane wanted the lights turned off. This cunt's yapping on about
Imagine
nothing.
Jane on here. Whew.
Yeah, oh, imagine how much she'd tell him to shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Stop
Yeah,
it.
I'd be
I
like,
need
check
you
it
to
out. I
stop.
can make fire like the apes. And she'd be like, that's actually pretty impressive.
Now, Hunter, what is the worst gig you've ever done?
Well,
Experienced?
this is very obvious to me because I haven't had many disasters.
Oh, that's
so
great.
this is one big disaster.
Okay.
It was this time last year. I remember because it was Pride Month and it was a Pride gig. And
Yeah.
my friend said to me, my mum runs or works at a retirement village.
Okay.
They're doing Pride Month events. They would like
How
it-
did that go
they
down?
would like
All the old men? What? Does that mean we're all gay now?
They'd like a comedian. Now, important information, that month last year, I had decided to do that thing that people do where they say, I'm just going to say yes to everything.
Yeah,
You know,
I do
they're just going to say
yeah.
yes. Because, by trade, I'm a bit of a negative Nancy. So
Okay,
I
I
thought
wouldn't-
it's time to, open my mind. So
Then
unfortunately,
after you open your mind, you go, close it back down.
Yeah.
Close it back down immediately.
Yeah.
Everyone is an idiot.
there were 2 disasters. It ended up in a humiliating play. And then this is the second one. So
I want to hear about the play.
I get there on the day. I walk in. So first of all, security to get into the retirement village, much tougher than expected in like a health way. Like I had to do a
Whoa.
COVID test.
It's harder to
Go
get into
toe
Essex
test.
nightclub.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
signing paperwork. I'm signing my life away. That should have been the red flag for me, or the rainbow flag, maybe in proper. And so I go in. My friend says, "Oh yeah, we've got a little thing set up. They've got gay pride balloons, or just like coloured balloons scattered around." And that's when I worked out that it wasn't really a retirement village; it was a full-blown nursing home. So. What's
No
the difference?
choice. They did not choose to be there.
I was gonna say what
been
level?
abandoned.
Yeah.
This is like palliative care. Everyone's in a bed or whatever.
Yeah. Like I said, so what's the difference? I reckon the first 3 rows were people in beds. Yeah.
And that's what you want in a comedy
You
show.
look out, you see a
Lie
sea
down.
of Janes just lying down in the dark.
So 3 rows of beds, and then beyond that, people who were alive, but that's about it. And they were, it was Pride event, so I should have, even if it was a retirement village, this would have been appropriate. But I had done brought particularly gay stuff.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Which is tough to perform to 14 unconscious people.
Thank God you guys are lying down because this is aggressively.
This is going to kill you.
Yeah, they weren't vibing with my anal gear.
They probably could relate to a lot of anal stuff.
It's kind of like a large suppository.
Yeah.
That was terrible. Sorry. So, I was meant to do, 10 minutes. I reckon I did 3.5. Maybe like a bit like a Pakenham show like that. People were very vocal, and I wouldn't say that everybody hated it. There were some people enjoyed it, but I don't think they knew what was going on. She was just happy to be out of the room.
Light, sound, coloured balloons.
Yeah. They were reacting. Yeah. And so as soon as I got on stage, I called my friend. I said, "It's not a fucking retirement village. It's a nursing home." And she was like, "Is it?"
Were you the only performer?
I was the only comedian. They had like Magic Man and, a woman playing Barry Manilow on the piano and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I guess
They
that
love
was
that.
Yeah. They wanted a little MC, really. So that was
you the MC?
I was both. Yeah, I was meant to do a little stand-up and MC. But obviously when I got there, I was like, I'm not going to do my festival show.
You just started just being like, all right, I'm just going to be all charismatic and just keep bringing people on.
Yeah, be charming. Do
Yeah.
a bit of crowd work.
I do that.
You had to keep coming back. You had to keep coming back.
No, it was just one big stint.
I was going to say, fuck, because I go from that gear, I'm like, all right, they don't find me funny, so I'm just going to be nice and get the next person. You're going to love them. And then you get the grin, you're like, you fucking pieces of shit. How dare you piss in your bedpan when I'm up there? Oh, it's my craft.
That does.
Yeah, so that was the
really
worst one by
awful.
far. And it turned out that the business, they did own both. So it was a miscommunication. Okay. Just over the hill, there was a retirement village full of people desperate to hear my gay shit.
Very different though. That you would have crushed over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you died.
But last week I was picking got a 4-year-old son and I was picking him up from daycare. And when I was going there, I don't pick up very often because I'm fresh and unemployed. And when I was going there, I was like, this is very similar to the nursing home. You know what I mean? Like you sign in, you go, the person that you're there to see is like vaguely interested in you. And then everyone else is like, I've got new shoes. It's exactly the same vibe.
That's a bit. That's very funny. Absolutely.
Because my old nan is still kicking and in a nursing home, and I go visit her, but she's quite far gone, and so I crash down next to her, and she gives me nothing, but the woman next to me is like rubbing my scalp and like, touching me. You know what I mean? Like,
man, all my grandparents have ended up in some stage there, and it's so sad going in there. But there's always some little old lady holding a baby, like a toy baby, and you're like, oh, and no one. And I hate when. Because I used to go visit my granddad once a week.
Yep.
And even I thought that wasn't enough. But like some people
They
don't.
were none.
that's
They
a
were
great
no
effort.
No one
once
goes
a
to
week
see
is a
them.
great
I'm like,
effort. No, they don't.
It's so sad. I'm like, oh.
My mum used to work in a nursing home, so we grew up the first part of our lives. Me and my brothers and sisters, we would have to go into the nurse. Mum was a single mum, so we'd have to go to work with her. We'd either sleep in the tea room or we'd sleep in the car or whatever. She did night shifts, but Mum thought it was the saddest place ever, or she said all they want to see is kids. They just want to see life.
Yeah,
and so
she
organised this. It was like a debutante, but all of the nurses brought in their kids and grandkids, and we had to dress.
They would love
like
that. They always loved it.
Yeah.
But I was like, am I? Because a debutante, like you have to.
Are you selling me?
Yeah, I was dressed as a baby bride.
$19.
You're dressed as a bride.
And I was like,
Your baby bride. How much does she weigh? If she's got a big old bit of junk in that trunk, I'll take it.
I was 5, and then I had to
I'm
walk.
not yelling it out. It's Fat Man Scoop.
And then my little
He
brother.
might appear in the R. Kelly documentary. documentary now.
Maybe. My little brother, he had to, he was like my partner. He was 3. So we were walking around. I was marrying my 3-year-old brother. And then Hamish, my older brother and older sister, they had to marry each other. We had to walk around in a circle.
They were
So we're ingreds, are we?
Yeah. We had to walk around. So all the other kids are there and walking around just like on show for the old people. And some of them are like catatonic. Some of them, there was one lady, I'll never forget her, who only would say the word two, but she didn't know that that's the only word that was coming out. So she would talk two, and stroking her hair really up in the face. And I was scared the fucking shit out of me. I was like, Ma! But what amazed me is
causing a fuss again.
Just sit on her lap, Bron. Yes. And that's how so many of the women thought they were the queen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Mum was like, oh, yeah, she thinks she's the queen as well. So you have to curtsy to her. So we were like curtsying towards these old but that was just a really common thing.
Yeah, common delusion.
But like I think what's quite common for people who lose their mind, young people anyway, is they think that they're Jesus. But a common thing for old ducks is they think they're the queen.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, that's awesome.
Oh, that's better than just getting really racist, which happens down there a lot too.
Oh, I was going to say, it's either that. I was like, my granddad got real racist. Yeah. And he's brown, so...
What about at my nan's joint? They had this toy which I thought was a bad idea. So as my nan was sort of going, both my grandparents, the married, were in there together, and they were going crazy at the same time, but in different ways. So he had more like traditional Alzheimer's, where he was repeating stories constantly, but she had sort of like more magical delusions.
Oh,
so
I want that.
So she'd be like to me, we had 2 little birds in here today. And I had to get down and save the birds. Sort of plausible stories, you know.
Yeah, sure.
But the funny thing was, they could tell each other were going nuts in a way that annoyed them both, right? So she'd start telling stories. She's like, "You've already told that, John." And then he would tell the story about the birds, and he'd be in my eye line behind, rolling his eyes. Like, that didn't happen, Monica. Like, you lost it. You lost it. Both going nuts together.
Meanwhile, he's naked, rocking in the corner. She's lost her mind.
Exactly. So one day she starts telling me about how this bloke that she calls Creepin' Moses, I don't know why, Creepin' Moses, she goes, he's got a magical dog that can talk. And so by this point, I'm like, okay, that's not it.
I know that one's a trick. Yep.
Anyway, cut to 6 months in the future, I'm sitting out in the communal room. I look over, this guy's got this like crazy realistic animatronic dog that's like, hello. Hey, I was like, not an appropriate toy for the nursing home. Like, they do not know what is going on.
You're like, and 6 months before that, your nan says that, and so you just put a pillow over her face. Like, she's lost it, there's no home. And then you see a talking dog, you're like, shit.
Sorry, Nan.
Well, my sister, I said, you will not believe what I saw down at the nursing home today. I saw Nan's magical dog.
And Creepin' Moses.
Yeah.
They both exist.
My granddad got they lose their filter or whatever. But I still remember that day because he's from Burma, and then there was another lady she came from Burma to the retirement community, the home or whatever, and everyone was so excited because Granddad speaks Burmese.
Oh, great!
She spoke Burmese. How awesome is this? They can talk about the country. Great. She walks into the room. Granddad stares at her, and she says something in Burmese, and he looks away and goes, "Get her out." and then Dad's like, and he goes, "The thing about Burmese people is they're also racist within their community."
Oh, right, they hate each other.
Yeah. And Granddad's like, "I'm not talking to this one. She's too low on the pecking order." And I'm like, "Granddad, how often is there going to be another person who speaks Burmese?" And he's like, "Yuck.
This is good as
I
it's
think
getting.
she might have been poor. Get her out." And he's like, "I am not talking to her."
I think she might have been poor.
Yeah. It's like, and me and Dad are like, "What the fuck?" And then he had a gripe with this guy, and he because Granddad used to get into fights when he was older as well. He's fucking insane. But he had this, he was walking around and he used to be like, "Watch this." And there's another old guy, and Granddad would try and trip him with his walking stick. I'm like, "Leave him alone, you fucking psycho. The cunt's 90." He's like, "Oh, just having a bit of a laugh, you know." I'm like, "Go back to your room."
But this
Yeah,
is
my
who
nan
you've
hated
taken
everyone.
after, though, for
I'm
sure.
very similar to my
is-
granddad.
Anyway, we can laugh. Cut to us doing our silly little podcast to nobody at 95 in the fucking home. Yeah.
Oh, you guys probably aren't even here. I've just been recording in my house for 10 years and I don't even know. None of that would surprise
This
me.
isn't
I'm like,
on.
This
None
isn't
of
on.
this is
No,
on.
nothing's real.
Yeah, it's
No
like
one
down at the
listens.
nursing home, they've got the fake bus stop. You seen that?
No.
They install like a fake bus stop and then people just go and stand by it. And then they tell the story. Where are you off to? And they tell this story. So that's what we've done for you, Brady.
So they do
It's
it
a-
on thing.
Yeah, it's a real
Taking
thing.
them on the way
It's a real
out.
thing.
It's like Nightmare on Elm Street. You can't fucking leave. So many people would be at the door. They're like, which is so disrespectful. And Granddad's one, they go, the exit code was 4 digits. And I'm like, should you be putting the exit code? They can see that. They're like, they can't.
They're far beyond that. Yeah.
They could be staring at it and they'll still be getting it wrong. I'm like,
what about when you're down there and there's somebody who visually you think is probably a resident, but they're like using the code, walking out the door, and you don't
be leaving.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, yeah, no, he's fine. Yeah,
No, he works.
yeah,
He
he's
looks
visiting
old
his mum.
as hell.
Yeah.
I know people who work at a psych ward, and sometimes there'll be people in like padded rooms, like really dangerous people, completely bad. And when like the fire alarm goes off or something, and they shut down all the power, the doors unlock.
Oh,
and
wow.
so they're like, don't look at them because they might work this out. And they're like smashing on the doors or like climbing up. And they're like, if they got out, like they'll kill one of us. And so they all have to just like be like, anyway, what have you got for lunch? And then finally, eventually the power comes back on and the doors close again. And they're like, oh my God.
That's a great setup for a film.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, totally don't look at him because he might go,
why is everyone acting weird? Yeah.
what if I just turn the knob?
There was one when Nam was on her way out, the last little ward or whatever, and this lady would come around. And I was like, she felt like, imagine Anne Edmonds, at 60 or 70, right? Quite a character walks in and they got a drinks trolley, like, because, you're on your deathbed. You can have some drinks or whatever. She's like, you guys want anything to drink? She's off her head already. It's 9 a.m.
Yeah,
she's been into the trolley. Yeah. And then I'm like,
she works
trolley.
there? No.
What?
She works there? She's
like one of the nurses, or maybe she's a volunteer.
Oh, she works there.
I don't know, but she's maggot at 9, so I'm loving her. She's like, you can have a drink, darling. And I was like, yeah, cool, I have a Bundy or whatever. And then she cracks one for herself.
I love how you were judging. You're like, it's 9 a.m. Yes, one Bundy, please.
Yeah, but she's older than me. She should know better.
Single.
Me, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm like, yeah, I'll have one. And then she's having a drink and she's like, oh, it's terrible. Your nan's passing away. But anyway, I've got a story for you. So 2 weeks ago, there's a dad was in here. He's 40 years old, terminal cancer. He's got a young daughter, 6 years old, and all she ever wanted was for her dad to make it to her 7th birthday. So we set up this big party, and we got balloons, we got animals, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so magical. And she goes, yeah. And that morning before the party kicked off, he died. Anyway, off I go. And then every morning she would come in and it was the funniest thing in the world. I look forward to it because she'd try and cheer you up.
With another crushing
And that
story.
would just be the most horrific story you've ever heard. And he had diarrhea and died of dehydration. And I'd just be sitting there with my Bundy going like, this is not helping.
Could anyone else see this woman, Brittany? I don't know. Maybe I was drinking absinthe. I don't know.
But maybe, when you volunteer on the palliative care ward, I suppose like a happy story is quite a relative concept, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the best she had.
And they
totally.
I was like, I've got to turn it into a TV show or something because it was so. They had a guy that brought in animals, like to cheer people up.
The therapy.
Yeah, like the first it was a dog. The cat didn't want to talk to anyone, but he randomly came in the room one day. He's like, "Has anyone seen a ferret?" And I was like, "No. Why? Have you lost one?" He goes, "No." I'm just asking. One day he came in with a bird on his arm and it was hurting his arm. He's like, ow, ow, ow. And I'm like, dude, the dog's fine. He's like trying to bring in a different animal each time.
I've got a healthy distrust of those animals, I reckon. Service animals. Yeah. Animals that work for someone. I don't like them. Like the drug dogs.
I don't trust them.
No, I don't like
Cadaver dogs.
You see like a car stick around sometimes that's like, if cat, what is it?
On a bumper sticker.
Yeah, it was about that cats would never work for the cops.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like that. I'm like,
you reckon the dog's
all
a
happy
rat?
Larry, but you're working for the cops.
I also love how you could just put like a little bracelet on your dog and be like, it's my service animal.
Yeah.
And they come in all different shapes.
Man,
now.
if I ever get a dog, I'm just going to get it a red vest with a cross on it and go, yeah, I got seizures, and then just be allowed to walk through the shops.
Ready to go, yeah. They're the ones I hate the most, those dogs that can smell cancer. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Cats do that,
Stage
but it's a
4.
passion
No,
project.
thank you. Yeah. Hideous.
I think if you had a service dog, Brett, no one would bat an eyeyelid.
Go.
Doesn't matter what it looks like. They'll be like that.
Nah, he's got issues.
He
He's got
needs
issues.
as much help as he can get.
Yeah,
He should have a pack of dogs around him.
I've just got a rat on my shoulder. It's my service animal.
Service
rat.
rat.
I actually would love that. Yeah.
Have you
All right, we've got to leave you there. Hunter, is there anything you'd like to plug? Have you got any festivals coming up, any gigs, any shows, social media? Where can people find you?
Yeah, just follow me at Mr. Hunter Smith everywhere.
I love
I'll
your
just
social
flog
media.
everything
You're
great
relentlessly
social
there.
media.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
You're
guys.
great. You're very good at it.
Oh, thank you.
You are. People share your stuff. People who've never met you. People share your stuff with me. I'm like, I know. I've seen it. I know him.
I love that when you get a random
Oh.
one, like, have you seen this? And it's
Yeah.
one of your friends, and you're like, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
the
it's great.
best.
It's
It's
great.
awesome.
Yeah, I've got a good hack for it. Actually, I'll show you after this.
Okay,
Oh,
done.
so many secrets out
Sorry.
there.
Oh my god, that's like I
many
can't wait to
things.
this end. Guys, if you're not already the Patreon, please make sure you do so. And guys, we normally film at the Creatures Bar and Band Room in Fitzroy. We're doing it at our house today. But if you're in Fitzroy area, make sure you pop in, see Brad, have a cocktail because they always look after us.
Yeah, they do.
And I feel stoked about it. If you're not on the Patreon, also all these series are up on YouTube, so make sure you jump on and subscribe. It helps us out. And if you can leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, that would be absolutely awesome.
Putting on, for the first time ever, a comedy beauty pageant.
Oh my god.
Bron's going to do it for me.
You're going to marry your brother again?
Yeah, oh my God, it will be like that. You should come and do it too, Brady. It's going to be great. It's going to be all funny people competing in beauty pageant style rounds.
This stresses me out.
It's at the Brunswick Ballroom on July 31, so come along. It'll be a hoot.
I'm like, it's all because it's July. I'm like, I put it on the calendar on the fridge. I'm like, Hunter's gig. I'm like, it's like, what?
How good?
Like, it's a beauty pageant. It's like, got it? I'm like, shut up.
No more
Shut up,
questions.
I'm going. I'm having champagne and I'm going. Fuck off.
Yeah, come along. It'll be a hoot.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
joining us. Bye. I've been fired from a lot of places. I've been fired from so many places.
I went into the class one day, real bullets, like real bullets.
Kill me.